When I was much younger, I used to hang out in Shadyside. And this is back before the renovation and the yuppies moved in. This was when it was hippies and other ne'er-do-wells. And it was a very open and interesting environment in those days. It was a serious artist community, not a marketing community like it has become, like everything has become. I ran into a guy named Bob Doak. I think Johnny McCutcheon, percussionist, suggested him to me and said that I could probably learn something from him. So a drummer told me to go learn about music from an arranger. So I got in touch with Bob Doak and he said, yeah, for $10 an hour, I'll teach you a little bit about music. Well, the money only lasted a short while because it was me and I can't keep two pennies together. And in that time, however, Bob taught me some extremely important things about music. Technical things, not difficult, foundational, the things that a musical child would learn before he grows up into a musical adolescent, which is where I'm trying to go now. So here's how it looks on the piano. We cool guys say, yeah, play me a 1-4-5, man. People are like, okay, and they watch the other guy's hands. They go E, A, B, A, E. Yeah, I know what a 1-4-5 is. This is how this works. I was one of these people too. I completely understand. I'm not running anybody down. I'm merely going to open eyes like Bob Doak did for me, if I can get it right. So, here's your blues. Here's your 1-4-5. This is what it means. The one chord is the first chord in the key that you're playing in. I'm playing a C blues. So the one chord is a C major. There's another harmony. There's always a major seventh harmony dangling somewhere, but most people don't know about it, and so they leave it out. So ordinarily, here's the scale from do to do, from the first to the seventh to the Ionian to get to the eighth, which is the first of you didn't do that very well. Let's try it again. Yeah, just like moving your hand up the guitar. 2 frets, 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, 2 frets, 2 frets, 1 fret, and that is a major scale in whatever key you started, whatever note you started on. Yeah, it works like that. It does it on the piano too, except we have these black keys arranged in minor pentatonic. Anyway, so for a rocker or a blues man, or a lot of popularist musical people, a blues is a 1-4-5, and we use those words without really recognize what they mean. Well, they have to do with those scale tone chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then when you go to 8, that's of course the first again. Yeah, same thing, just an octave higher. So anyway, this is important. So one chord is a C in C. The 4 chord, D, E, F, is an F. And the 5th chord is one more G. Wow, it knocked me over with a feather. So if somebody says play a 1-4-5 in C, I can go C, F, G. And the relationship holds in every single key, anywhere on the neck of your guitar or on the keyboard of your keyboard. Everywhere. Watch this. Play me a 1-4-5 in E. Well, sure, it goes E, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. The 4 chord in E is A. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 is an A. And, one whole note up from that is the 5 chord, which is a B. So, a 1-4-5 in E would be E, A, and B. Three major chords that you play in. That's what a 1-4-5 is. A lot of us don't get that because we just picked up words from somebody that didn't really know what they were talking about. I got lucky and paid a little money and talked to a guy that did know what he was talking about, and he taught me these few tiny little secrets that make me seem to some folks like an expert. But I'm not. I'm just another musical child struggling to become a musical adolescent. So, Here's why you want to keep track of all those scale tone chords and all those relationships. They're all the same in all the keys. So once you've learned it in one, you can just build muscle memory for another and play that song in any key you want for any singer, which is why you would change a key, is to make it better for the singer's voice. That's the whole point. Yeah, it is. So anyway, I'm going to take C because it's easy. It's all white keys on the piano. Huh? And I'm going to do this. 1, 4, 5, a blues in the key of C. Well, that's a 1, 4, 5. That's what that means. It really does. So I'm using the first chord, which is any C in the key of C, is a 1 chord. Even if it's a C minor, even if it's a C minor 7th, even if it's a C 6th, even if it's a C 7, 9. Or an 11th. Ask Johnny for that one. He'll show it to you. So anyway, when we play that blues, we think, okay, there's 3 chords, 1, 4, and 5. Just throw them right down there and you got a song, right? Play C licks, play F licks, play G licks. And here's your 1, 4, 5. Well, there's a little more to it that's very easy to learn. If you had talked to Bob Doak, he would have shown you on the first day. The first day, when you still had attention span. I still did, and I'm the original ADHD case. I'm not kidding, I really was. Honestly, in history, I was the first, the holotype case for attention span deficit disorder. So, if I remembered something he said, you can remember something he said. And this is what he said in essence. That 1, 4, 5 isn't just 3 chords you plop down. It's 3 chords to which you are struggling to go up or down or to the next. And you're doing that, it's called a transition, by creating a musical environment where the listener knows where you're going, where the lead guitarist knows where you're going, where the bass player knows where you're going. He's not surprised by it. Not because it's a 1, 4, 5, but because your music is taking him to that next chord, and he goes, oh, you're going here. Here's how this works. So here's your blues, right? Blues right there, 1, 4, 5. Well, try this. Suddenly it sounds to people who aren't jazz musicians like that boy's playing jazz. How, Bill, are you good? Not really. All it is I know this simple thing, that the music wants to go somewhere and you want to let people know it's going there. So, down a 1 and a 4 and a 4 and a 1 and a 1 and a 5, 1 and a 4 and a 4 and a 4 and a 4. This is a 4 sharp diminished. You don't have to play it. And a 1 and a 1 and a 6 and a 6 and a 2 and a 5. 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. There's a reason for all that. And if I was a better player, you'd hear that in what I'm playing. You'd think like, oh, he wants to go up to F here. And he's obviously going to G. Because I'm taking the audience along with me and saying, hey, I'm headed somewhere. That's what a walking bass is for. Not just a bunch of noise and syncopated rhythm. It's headed toward a chord. And now you can hear that, whoa, it sounded like Bill was going somewhere. Every note he played, every right note, I played a clunker in there. But still, the point being, doggone. Sounded like I was going somewhere, didn't it? Which this doesn't. Okay, but that doesn't tell the blues any better. That doesn't make a 1-4-5 any better. And it doesn't tell the audience or the other band members where you're going. But this will. Well, that sounded like jazz. It's a 1-4-5 with the transition chords replaced in it where they belong. And what you'll do is you'll hear a lot of blues musicians are finally getting to the point where they'll put the 2-5 in. You know? Da, 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 da. They'll be doing, trying to hear where they go. Oh. Da, 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 they'll do that, but very seldom. But that's a 1-6-2-5-1 or a 2-5. These are simple chord progressions. Here's a 1-6-2-5, or as I like to call it, a 1-6-2-5-1. And you'll know this chord progression. Earth Angel. But at any rate, that is a 1-6-2-5-1. 1-6-2-5. But they're doing it the 50s way. 1-6-4-5. The literal transliteration would be 2-5. That's a sweeter way for me to play it. I can keep my attention span focused on the song because it's moving along and headed somewhere. I have a tendency to be in the middle of a song, and Marty Gonzalez will corroborate this, to be in the middle of a song and then suddenly look around like, where am I? What am I doing here? That's ADHD. That hits you, and then you're suddenly afresh in the moment again. Where the hell am I? What am I doing here? Am I wearing pants? Really happens. So if you hear me play a song all the way through and you hear, well, there's a little bobble, and then you hear like, well, that was nice, and you hear like, well, Bill did a good job on that. That was while I was fighting my attention span to stay somewhere the whole time. And it's easiest to do that without any fidget spinnering. That's the most boring thing in the world for me, and I get lost in a vamp. You know how some kinds of music are all a vamp? You don't play anything different, you just hold. I look up at one of those moments going, where the hell am I? Where the hell am I? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where the song is going. There's no sense of continuity in it. That's why some people end up playing more complex progressions, because they want to be warned where the music's going. Not even kidding here. Not saying that all of you are like that, but some of us are. So, one more time. There's a 1-4-5 blues without any transitional chords. Not too bad, really. Now let's try this. That's the same darn song I just played. The only difference was Bob Doak showed me that you're supposed to cue people as to where you're going. And that second progression gives them a far better notification as to where the heck that song is going, even if they're noobs, even if they've never heard it before. It'll be the 5-1 means, well, he's going to the 4 here. And that's probably going here. Silly as that seems, that really works. It doesn't work all the time. And certainly some writers write music just to confound people with education. I'm not kidding. Harry Chapin, look him up, listen to some of his music, and you'll think like, he's going here. Oh, no, he doesn't. What the hell was that? He did that just to boggle classical and jazz musicians, people that had a clue as to what music was about. Why he did it? Well, musical people are weird, and we have our fun in strange ways. And that's the blues, by the way. That's the standard blues. And you can, if you want, you can do that. I like this. I'd rather do that. And there was riffing and using like time-honored tropes and all that stuff. And when I made a mistake, I just flashed, and it sounded almost like I knew what I was doing. Those are all those things being used correctly. They aren't supposed to drive your performance. You're not supposed to just sit there and practice licks all day. You need to know whole songs. And it would help if you knew why those songs sound like they do and what that means to the people who wrote it. Because if you can put yourself in the mindset of the writer, like Hipchin does with Mickey Newberry on Condition, then you've got something. Then you are cool. Well, good.